see.
pinch welds that I just cut off, made it straight. I did that off tape. I'm going to take it, use this vice grip that I got from Harbor Freight, clamp it down throughout this whole seam, all the way down to these pinch welds that I just cut off, and those little seams with seam sealer. And after that, I will put Bondo on it and smooth it up, grind it down, do whatever. Top and the bottom, because quite honestly, it's pretty nasty, and I'm not trying to run my fingers on there and cut it open. I don't have the money to go to the ER. not as dirty. Whole way across. Don't really feel much of an edge besides areas like this that I just can't get the angle grinder in. A little bit of a lip right there. Not bad, not bad. Lip right there. Not bad. Clean up this area and where was it? Right there. We're good. coating off. And then I had to take the Bondo back down, redo it. Mostly bare metal. All the way in the strut towers. I'm sure you've seen me sanding all of this. I'll include the video of that. I'm gonna cut it. Actually take it all the way from this seam, tape it, hard tape it to this line right here. Follow it all the way down, and then just back tape and find some lines in there. Such as this hard line in this trans tunnel. I can tape to this line all the way around, and then down here, so that I'm not leaving blow through. Either or, I don't mind. Yeah, seam sealer cleaned up just to make it look a little smoother. All right, so we've run into a little issue where I'm waiting for the tube front now. Unfortunately, FedEx has dropped the ball. They said that the tube front would be here Wednesday. It's now Saturday. Every day I've been getting updates that it's in Twinsburg at their facility, and then it'll say, oh, well, you know, it's out for delivery. And then by the end of that night, it's still in Twinsburg and they have no idea. And then I think it was Thursday or Friday night, they ended up just saying, we don't know when it's going to be there. We have no update for you on when it's expected to be delivered. So I said, you know what, fine, whatever. Hopefully I'll get it Friday. And then I didn't. I got out of work and checked, and they said, yeah, probably Monday. So I don't know at this point. I mean, I guess I've waited more than a month for it at this point, between the steel supply issue that Kodian had and now this shipping letdown. So at this point, I mean, obviously I have no tube front. I can't start anything. As far as this brace and this brace goes, I can't really start anything. I don't want to make any final cuts until I have it here. So as you can probably tell, besides my shaky hands, I am starting the body work. I originally was going to epoxy everything that was bare metal with some good epoxy primer from Eastwood. I highly recommend that. It's very inexpensive and it works great. I was going to epoxy it and then do body work, but at this point I really would love to get this car painted, the tube front at least, the whole engine bay. I'd love to get that all painted at work next weekend. In order for that to happen, I need to do body work, prep everything, clean everything, tape it all, at least a portion of it here. Put the tube front on, make sure everything fits. I gotta go to Summit and buy a fender so I can test fit, because I don't feel like using the one I have outside. It's junk. It's only junk because it's rusted and there's some patches that are on it on the lip for the liner, but I'm not worried. I'd rather use the fender that I'm going to use on the car so that I test fit it to that part. If I test fit it to the bad fender, well, who's to say that one doesn't have it's not kinked, or who's to say that one's a little off by the stamping in some way, shape, or form. Either way, I'm going to just do the body work now, because I started the body work here and here. Yeah, those two. I started that, and then I realized, well, shoot, I have a lot more body work that I need to do besides just those 3 areas. So, I mean, I guess what's the problem with just doing the filler over bare metal and then epoxying that and keeping it all in? That solves a couple issues. That solves the issue of me waiting for it to dry, which is, I mean, that's half an hour, but still solves the issue of me waiting for it to dry, getting time to sand it, assuming that I can do it good the first time or two and I won't need 3 or 4 coats. I don't need to run out and get more filler as long as I'm good about it. I don't need to epoxy it and wait a couple days and then scuff or sand that and then put filler on to even start the process. So that's 6 already. And then another point is, it's done. I can get the filler started, and then by the time I epoxy it, the filler should be done. After I epoxy it, I'll start blocking it out, and as long as I'm happy with how it looks when I'm spraying it and when I block it out and I'm happy with it, no low spots or anything crazy, I should be good. Which, assuming that's the case, I won't have to reprime it. I won't have to get some water primer or regular solvent primer that isn't epoxy, just a high build typical production shop primer. I won't have to get that and prime over the filler. I can just use the epoxy and then essentially scuff, wipe, sand, clean, tape, do all that jazz, prep it, essentially prep everything, take it to work and spray it. Like it should leave me a couple days of empty room in case of any mishaps, or in case I get busy with something else, or in case, oh, you know, one day I'm tired and I want a day off. Or let's say if I need to redo some body work, or I need to go back into it for any reason, anywhere, you know, it leaves me a couple days. Or let's say Summit's closed by the time I'm ready for that fender. Well, I can get it the next day. I have that day. But anyways, that's what I'm starting now. So yeah, that's that. I have tape on this edge right here, just because I don't want to put any glaze or filler there yet. I'm going to use this, I'm terrible at pointing. I'm going to use this U-Paul filling glaze. Fantastic glaze, apparently. I'm going to be using that for this whole firewall section, just to cover in all these small pinholes and dots and all my welds. I'm going to be covering that in. So you'll see that now.
First order of business, I gotta fly out my people. On my face, I can see the eagles.